Good morning, Catherine.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
Okay, how are you?
Pretty good. So, are we ready for another episode of Here and Now News?
Yes, we are.
And what are we going to talk about today?
WWE and UFC.
And MMA and all those fighting things, okay?
Yep.
Including professional boxing, okay? So, you've got your timer set?
Yes.
Yeah, we don't like to have these things go over 15 minutes or so. So, what we're going to do is we time all of these things. So I'm going to come on over and sit down and we're going to start talking about this. So, Catherine, what do you know about WWE, like wrestling? Have you ever watched that?
I don't know anything about it really at all.
Your dad and your mom never watched any wrestling or Hulk Hogan or any of those guys? Or no?
No, we never watched it when I was
Dwayne, you know who Dwayne Johnson is?
Yeah, I know who Dwayne is from movies. Because he's
from
an actor
movies.
too. Yeah.
Did you know that he was a wrestler?
I didn't, actually, not till this moment when you just told me. I had no idea.
He's very famous on, that's where he got started, actually, was on wrestling,
Really?
professional wrestling. WWE, Worldwide Wrestling.
Wow, I didn't know.
Or Worldwide Entertainment, it's called now. It used to be called wrestling, but they changed it to entertainment because professional wrestling is fake. It's not real. Okay. But having said that, professional wrestling is brutal, even though it's fake.
Yeah.
Because they do flips in the ring, they get body slammed, they come off the turnbuckle, they come off the ring ropes and hit each other. And I mean, it is brutal even though it's fake. Yes, they pull some of their punches, and yes, they make things look more brutal than they actually are, and they try to, when they're making these moves and so forth, they try to fake punch and not hit hard and things like that. But nevertheless, when you are slammed from 6 foot in the air down to the canvas, I mean, it hurts and it is brutal. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
And there have been people that died in professional wrestling from
Sure.
accidents.
I'm sure.
There was a guy that shattered his backbone. He was
Oh, gosh.
he came off the ropes. Actually, came off the side of the ropes and he did a flip in the middle of the ring. And they had a trap door underneath the ring, and he hit it just right, and it shattered his backbone. Killed him. There's another guy that he doing some acrobatics, and he somehow or the other his head hit the turnbuckle, and it killed him. So there's been accidents in professional wrestling that have they killed each other.
Oh, yeah.
Where people have gotten killed. So what do you think the biggest sport is now? Do you think it's professional boxing or professional wrestling or WWE, which is, well, that's professional wrestling. It's actually entertainment. Or MMA, which is mixed martial arts, or UFC, which is Ultimate Fighter. So what do you think the biggest thing is now as far as that is concerned?
Probably WWE, because, I mean, you see it quite often. I see it more than UFC. But
Actually, WWE is still pretty popular, but I think that if you check on the internet, do a little research, okay? And I'm not really positive about this, but I'm fairly sure myself that you will find that wrestling, even though it's a great show, And Vince McMahon with his WWE has done one heck of a job making professional wrestling really popular. And he's made a lot of money doing it, and he's made a lot of money for the wrestlers and so forth. Mm-hmm. But I think if you do an internet search, I think you will find that since MMA came along, mixed martial arts, and UFC came along, I think you will find that WWE has lost some of its viewership and probably has lost money. And probably the same is true of professional boxing. Because people like to see blood. People like to see real blood.
Oh, yeah.
And people like to see real arms broken. And people like to see real legs broken. I know in WWE there was a very famous, in UFC, a very famous and really good fighter. And they're always doing these leg kicks. He did a leg kick, and his leg broke here, and you can actually see it on the video. Yeah. His leg broke right here, and you could see his foot was back there. Yeah. He did a leg kick against somebody's leg, and his leg broke, and this whole part went back this way. And
couldn't imagine.
You see blood all the time in UFC and MMA, and it's real. It's not fake. And that goes back to what we were talking about yesterday about the bullying thing. We are vicious, I would say. We are living beings, and we're intelligent, but we are also, we've got a wildness to us. We've got a wild nature to us, and we are very competitive. We like to fight. We like to watch people fight. I'll ask you a question, Catherine. If you were at school,
yes,
and you was watching a couple of kids have a chess match, you was sitting there watching a chess match, and somebody hollered, "There's a fight right outside." Would you stay and watch a chess match, or would you go watch the fight?
I'd probably go watch the fight.
And that's what everybody said. That's what Dana White of UFC said. He said, regardless of what's going on, he said, if there's a fight that breaks out, everybody's gonna go watch the fight. Mm-hmm. And the reason why is because we're aggressive. We like to fight, and we like to watch fights. Do you know that WWE, professional wrestling, professional boxing, and UFC and MMA, almost half at least of the people in attendance at those fights are a good many of the people in attendance at those fights are women. Because women love to watch guys fight. And not only...
I didn't know that.
Oh, sure. Women love to watch guys fight. It turns them on. It does.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
Well, in nature, you take deer, for example. When the rut starts, the deers fight with their horns. Okay, and they're fighting for the right to breed with the females. Okay, and the females stand around and watch. Okay. Well, the females don't necessarily stand around and watch, but but anyway, the deal is that men fight for, and this is not only true with deers and elk and moose and a lot of other animals, just about all species of animals. It's like that. The males compete with each other for the right to have sex and breed with the women or with the females.
Yeah.
Now, so in a lot of the in a lot of the species, the females actually watch and kind of get to choose, you know.
Yeah.
Well, in pretty much, I would say all species. But anyway, we're getting away from the subject here, which is UFC. I think UFC and MMA has really put the hurts on financially, professional boxing, and also on professional wrestling. I think if you do the research, you'll find that they have indeed lost money. Now, it goes back to the, where are we at here? 11 minutes?
11 minutes, yes.
It goes back to the Romans in the Colosseum. They had their slaves fight to the death in the Colosseums. And some of the Roman soldiers would get in the Colosseum and fight slaves, and they would even fight each other. I mean, the thing about it is like the people in UFC, I mean the fighters, I mean they love to fight.
Oh yeah.
And there's not only guys in UFC and MMA fighting, there's girls too. Ronda Rousey made girls fighting in UFC. I think she was one of the first that was in UFC fighting. When Dana White started that, there was no women fighting in UFC, and it was said that there would never be. Ronda Rousey came along, some of the other female fighters came along, and that changed. And Ronda Rousey made a girl fighting, or a woman fighting in UFC, really a great sport, and that's a large part of it now.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, UFC is really the thing right now, and I think very well there may be something come along that's bloodier and that will surpass UFC and MMA, because people want to see blood, people want to see broken bones, and the bloodier it is, and the more carnage it is, the more people will flock to it. People do not want to see fake; they want to see real. Okay. So anyway, that's the way it is. And what do you want to talk about next? Now I'll give you an option. We're going to do another one here just in a minute. So I gave you the option yesterday, so we can do the same thing today. If you can come up with something, if not, I'll come up with something.
Okay.
All right. So what do you think?
I don't know.
You don't know. Okay. Well, I'll come up with something here in a couple minutes. So as far as right now, we're going to go ahead and cut this thing off, and hope everyone enjoyed this little video from Here and Now News, and we're going to cut it off, and I'm going to start another one here in a few minutes. So thanks a lot, everyone, and please subscribe.
And hit the notification bell because we make new videos often.